Golden State Media Concepts Technology Podcast covers everything tech. The hottest mobile phones, tablets, games. We review it, rate it, test it. Whether you're Microsoft or Apple, Android or iPhone, we'll give it to you again. Black and white. The Golden State Media Concepts Technology Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the GSMC Technology Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Mackenzie, and I am so excited about today's episode. You know, we've done episodes where I review exercise gadgets, wedding gadgets, cooking gadgets, but today we are doing 20 of the best home gadgets you can buy that will improve your home, your garden, your security, your air quality, even an alarm clock. We have so many gadgets to get through today, and I am so excited to share them with you because I'm ready to buy all 20 of them. I'm serious. I'm not engaged. I'm not married, but how about I get a wedding registry so that other people can buy these for me, because there's 20 of them and I don't have money to buy 20 different gadgets, but hey, we're going to review them, we're going to rate them, and maybe it will inspire you to go out and buy them yourself. So before we get started, I just want to remind everyone to please subscribe to this podcast. We post new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and you can reach out through social media and have a conversation with me. I'm always there. I'm always replying to your tweets, and I absolutely love hearing from you guys. So definitely make sure to go over there and connect with us online. Okay, everyone, so let's get right into today's podcast. So to start out today's podcast, I want to talk about some news stories that are happening in the technology world, because I feel like it's so easy for us to get caught up in the gadget review of it all, and I really like just talking to you guys what's new in the technology world, because it's relevant to us. Because say Apple decides just to quit one day and sell bread instead of iPhones, we need to know about that so that we can be prepared. So don't worry, nothing dramatic like that today, but if that happens, you'll hear it here first. Okay. So our first story of today is that Amazon has beat Google and Apple to become the world's most valuable brand. First of all, round of applause for Amazon. This is so great, so interesting. I'm not saying I'm Team Amazon or Team Apple or Team Google, whatever you may be. I just find it very interesting when a brand can go on the journey that Amazon's been on, especially over the past decade, and totally change who they are and what they're selling. Because I don't know if any of you youngsters out there remember, Amazon used to just sell books. Like, that was it. Now they have TV shows and home devices, and you can buy anything, literally anything. I bought season 4 of Desperate Housewives on Amazon the other day, and it arrived on my doorstep that afternoon. But it's definitely just really amazing to hear. So Amazon, the value of the e-commerce giant brand has soared 17.5% to a record $220.8 billion, and it is the first brand to ever top the $200 billion mark. So the next one that came in second for being the most valuable brand in the world, no shocker here, it is Google, and Amazon came in third. Apple came in third, and Microsoft stole that fourth place. So it's definitely very interesting because values are obviously changing of these companies, and a lot of them are starting to work together, as we've talked about on other podcasts. But it is very interesting to see how the world is starting to shape and what's going to be changing and what's going to be happening over the next decade. We're at the start of a new one right now, and who knows? I think Amazon definitely has a clear path in mind for what they want to do. And so it'll be interesting to see how and when they accomplish those goals. So story number 2 is the international growth helped Netflix beat expectations in the last quarter of 2019. So in the last quarter of 2019, a lot of people were really worried, I would say, about Netflix and their subscription growth, because it was the debut of Disney Plus. Apple TV also had their debut of the show The Morning Show, which was Jennifer Aniston turning to television. Now, this isn't an entertainment podcast, but if it was, I would do an entire episode on Jennifer Aniston coming back to TV, because man, did Apple TV bring out the big guns by having her be on a television show again. So it's definitely a shock to hear, but a good shock. I'm very happy for Netflix to hear that they did have growth in the last quarter and that they are still thriving in a way that we all didn't expect them to so soon. So the company acknowledged that the competition had impacted its sales in the United States, where growth missed the Wall Street's target. And the competition will become more and more the competition will become more fierce as Disney does move into the European countries in coming March. So right now, Netflix is still sort of leading that charge because they're available internationally, where Disney Plus and Apple TV currently are not. So the number beat Wall Street's estimates for the fourth quarter, helping to send shares up to 2.2% in after-hours trading on Tuesday. So super interesting, but super happy to hear that Netflix is still finding their place in the streaming world, and I'll be excited to see what happens in the next quarter when Disney Plus is available internationally, and Amazon has some really interesting and cool stuff coming up, so we will have to see what happens next. Our third story I just found was more interesting than newsworthy, but I thought I would share it with all of you. So the average IT salary hit a record of $113 annually this year. So the average annual salary for an IT professional worldwide is only $89,000. In North America, IT professionals earn $109,000 on average, which is 23% more than the worldwide average that I had just mentioned. They also saw a 6% raise in salary from 2019 to 2020 so far, and 50% received bonuses according to an annual report. So super interesting just to hear how the tech world is growing, not just for the tech that we have available, but for the people who work within it. I find it very interesting to see how their pay is going to change and differ over the next couple of years, especially considering internationally it seems as if it hasn't changed, but very local to the US it definitely has. And that could be because due to the other stories we talked about today, that Amazon now is so big and they're hiring so many people, so they're paying them more. And it's just very interesting to see how that is changing. Okay, everyone, we're going to go ahead and take a short break from the podcast, but when we come back, I'm going to get right into the review of the top 20 best home gadgets you can buy right now that will hopefully impact your overall quality of life and maybe, I don't know, bring some 2020 technology magic to your life. We'll see. All right, stay tuned. You're listening to the GSMC Technology Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Mackenzie Jaquish, and I'll be right back.
Do you work in the world of marketing and advertising? Are you a media buyer or the owner of an agency? Have you been looking for a podcast to help stay on top of all the goings-on of those worlds? The GSMC Marketing News Podcast is dedicated to keeping you up to date on all things concerning marketing and advertising. Get the latest marketing news, from what major businesses have planned for the coming year to the newest trends in advertising, from podcasts, digital and streaming, to the old standbys of radio, television, and billboards. The GSMC Marketing News Podcast has you covered, whether you're a marketing agent or a business trying to expand your brand.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the GSMC Technology Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Mackenzie Jaquish, and today we are talking about home gadgets that are going to improve your overall quality of life and add a little bit of that technology magic to your everyday, because we live in the future, so let's start embracing that future and have some fun with some tech. So the first one we are going to review is the Tile Pro Keys and Item Tracker. So the reason this is number 1. This obviously is not number 20. It is not the most exciting, but it made the top 20 because I lose my keys all the time. All the time, guys. All the time. Honestly, it is amazing that I haven't ever had to buy a pair to replace my keys. I'd managed to always find them. But, on occasion, I've spent a good 30 minutes looking for my keys. I've missed appointments. I've been late to dates because I'm searching for those darn keys. So a key tracker would definitely help my life. I'm sure it would help so many others. So I'm pro Tile Pro Key and Item Tracker. My only issue is, what if I lose the key tracker? I'll buy a rack, or maybe I'll buy 2, one to track the other tracker, and then I'll leave the other one in a safe location. I don't know. I'm actually really considering getting this item, so perhaps I will bring it onto an episode of the podcast and review it for all of you guys just to see if it really works. Number 2 is the Smart Air Quality Monitor. It tracks CO2, humidity, temperature, and chemicals. You plug it into the wall, and it's going to track all of those things for you, and it's going to let you know if, oh my goodness, there is something very damaging about your air quality right now. Fix it or get out. And gosh, I'm a bit of a worrywart, and who isn't, especially nowadays. So just having something like that is so simple to use, you just plug it into your wall, and it'll sit there, and it will monitor all of those different things for you. That would just be such a great way to get peace of mind, and to just not worry about it, right? It's almost the same as having a smoke detector of I'm not worried of getting caught in a fire because I have a smoke detector. It's going to help me out. It's going to save me. I'm going to be aware if a fire gets started. So just definitely having a little bit more peace of mind would be super great. So I do think the Smart Air Quality Monitor is a really great product, and I would highly recommend anybody gets it. The Arlo Ultra 4K Wireless Security Camera. So the reason I put this one on here is because I'm a bit of a country mouse, we'll call me. I don't want to say country too strongly because I'm not exactly from a farm or anything like that, but I am from a small town in Canada, Alberta of all places, so that's all farmland out there. And when I moved to the big city of Seattle, there are definitely things that maybe spook me more than the average city slicker will say. So definitely having something, again, a little more peace of mind. The Arlo Ultra 4K Wireless Security Camera, I actually do own this product, and I just put it on my balcony, and it takes care of the rest for me. I really love that the footage comes in 4K. There's no wires clogging up the system or making it look really bad. It just sort of pops onto the wall outside of my balcony, and it's just so easy to use. I could not believe how easy it was to use. So high recommendation for this product because I just really love it. And again, similar to the Smart Air Quality Monitor, it's just going to give you some peace of mind. I know nothing's going to happen. I know nobody is sneaking onto my balcony to try to steal my tulip plants, but I don't want that. If that were to happen, I'd like to know. So I definitely just think it's a really great product and really simple to use, which when it comes to a smart home security camera, that's all you really want is for it to work, offer you the good footage you're looking for. Again, it's 4K and be easy to use. The Casa Smart Wi-Fi Power Strip. So what's really cool about this is that it's voice command. So it's basically a power strip. We all know what one of those looks like. I'm staring at about 4 in my apartment right now. Oh my goodness, I have so many power strips. This is crazy. But I want this one. I'll throw away all the others if someone buys me this one because it's voice command. So I can say, turn off outlet 3, and then my phone will be unplugged. Turn on outlet 2, and the blender will start. So I don't know why you're charging your phone where you're also blending your smoothies, but if you were, that would be a really great way for you to use the product right there. I just gave you an example. I just think it is super sleek, super inventive, and super innovative, and I just think it would look really cool in your house. It'd be a really great addition to just sort of the whole voice command home system that we're using right now. So I just think it's a really great product for those reasons, and if anyone gets one of these, videotape yourself using it and send it to me because I'm super interested to see how it works. Number 5 is a bit of a fun one. It is a pop-out wall outlet. So the reason I put this on the list is because it's a wall outlet that you plug into your wall outlet, and then you can pop it out and it'll give you 4 different places to plug in your wall outlets. And I just thought that was nifty. If I'm being honest, I just thought it was really, really cool and a great way if you don't want a power strip and you want it to look a little bit more sleeker. A great way, just put this underneath your desk and you can plug in your printer, your computer, your monitor, all of the things, your phone charger into this pop-out outlet, and then when you're done, you're going on a trip, unplug them all and pop it back in. Super sleek looking and super cool. The alarm clock rug. So one, I thought this was a trick. I saw it, I did my research on it, and a part of me was like, I still feel like this is a prank, but it's not. This is a real thing. It is an alarm clock that you set as your rug, and then the only way to turn it off, you have to stand on it. So no more hitting the snooze button. You actually have to get out of bed to turn this darn thing off. And I've done similar things where, I've put my alarm clock across the room. I've put it in the kitchen so that I have to get out of bed, go to the kitchen. It's right by the coffee machine. I'm supposed to then turn on the coffee machine and really get my day going. But all that ends up happening is I'm like, well, my phone battery will die eventually. No more, none of that, because now this is something I really want, guys. I love the fact that you just step on it. It looks like a normal rug, but it's an alarm clock. It's a secret alarm clock. And I thought it was a really innovative and what's one of humans' biggest problems? Getting up in the morning. How do we solve that? We make them get up. It was just such an easy problem and answer invention that I just couldn't get enough of it. And I think it's so cool and so much fun. The Smart Food Scale Prep Pad. So this one almost could have fit in our episode from last week where we reviewed kitchen gadgets, but I didn't find it until this week, so I'm very sorry, but go back, listen to that one, and then just include this on the list because it's an iPad that sits on a cutting board and it tells you how to prep your food, how to cut your tomatoes the right way, how many tomatoes to cut for the recipe you're trying to cook. You set all of that up before, and it's just a really sleek and cool looking gadget that for those of us that are maybe not the best cooks, I am definitely one of them. This is just a really great way to stay on top of the recipe because it's all right there in front of you. The Philips Hue Wake Up Light. So I know I'm putting a lot of alarm clock stuff on here, guys. I'm sorry, but I have problems waking up early. What can I say? I'm a night owl. I love watching movies until 2 a.m. and then I have to get up at 6 a.m. It's hard. So having something like this would definitely make me want to wake up, or at least have an easier time waking up, because I obviously want to wake up, it's just hard. So this is an alarm clock that doesn't make any noise. Instead, it just slowly turns on a light. And the reason I like this is because I've tried all the tricks of set your favorite song as your alarm clock, or set a calming voice as your alarm clock to wake you up, and all that's done is really make me hate the song Here We Go Again from the Mamma Mia 2 soundtrack, because I've heard it play at 6 a.m. in the morning and it's driving me nuts. Same with Toto Africa. I can't do songs anymore. I can't do noises. So maybe a light would help wake me up in a better mood and start your day off on the right foot. This is why this alarm clock is further along on the list, because I definitely think it's just a really cool product that we could all use. The Verdmo wireless soil moisture sensor. So for all of you gardeners out there, hold on to your pants because you're going to love this, because I absolutely love this. It is just a little gadget you pop into your garden. It's green, so it's going to blend in, and it'll tell you when the plants need to be watered. It apparently saves you 30% of wasted water, and it has a 3-year battery, and it's just really cool to use and really, I'm not gonna lie, fun to use. You go out there and you see if it needs to be watered. It's wireless and it's uses Wi-Fi to like send you notifications for when your plants need to be watered. What more could you want? It has a 3-year battery life. You're not going to have to take it out of the garden for 3 years. Guys, this is a good product. I like it. The only thing I don't like is Amazon is currently sold out and they don't know when they'll have it back. So I'm going to have to wait for this product. The Blink XT2 outdoor-indoor smart security camera. So I know another security camera. This list has become all security cameras and alarm clocks. But hold on, guys, because there is a reason that I like this one. It's so tiny and it's just so sleek and you can really put it anywhere. You can put it outside. It's waterproof. You can put it inside. And it's that extra level of safety that I really enjoy. But also, on the reviews, people were like, I use it to watch my dog when I'm at work. So go ahead and use it for that purpose too if you're not a security freak like I am. It's definitely just a cool product, very sleek in its design, and I'm for it. 5 stars all around to all of these items so far. I think they're all really great, very sleek and very cool, and I'd definitely be interested if any of you have checked out these items or if you're now interested in buying them. So definitely let me know in the review down below or reach out through social media. Okay, everyone, we're going to go ahead and take a short break from the podcast, but when we come back, I'm going to give you the last top 10 best home gadgets that you can buy. They're on the market right now, and they're just going to improve your quality of life, maybe help you wake up. I'm kidding, there's no more alarm clocks, but they are a lot of fun products that we'll definitely be talking about more. So stay tuned because you are listening to the GSMC Technology Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Mackenzie Jaquish, and I'll be right back.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the GSMC Technology Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Mackenzie Jaquish, and thank you so much for joining me on today's podcast. I've had so much fun, and I hope you have as well. We have been reviewing the top 10 best home gadgets available right now on Amazon. So without further ado, let's get right back into that list. I gave you the top 10 before. Now we're going into the other half. The number 20 will be on here, the best one that I found. So get ready because we're going to have a lot of fun. The Bedit 3 Smart Sleep Tracker. So a lot of people right now are very into the idea of tracking their sleep and understanding their sleep patterns a little bit better. And I think this is really great. Mom, Dad, if you're listening, you both need to get checked out by a doctor for sleep apnea. I'm serious. We had to share a hotel room. You're snoring a lot. So do that. Or maybe get this, because this is not going to hook you up to gadgets. It just slips underneath your bed sheets and it tracks your sleeping, your breathing patterns, how much you're waking up, how much you're snoring, if you're talking, and all of that stuff. What I really like about it is that it's not a gadget that you have to wear around when you're sleeping, because I understand that can feel really claustrophobic. This is just something that slips underneath your sheets. You don't even know it's there, but it's going to track all of that information for you and save it for you for the next day. So highly recommend this product, especially to you, Jackie, Josh, buy this. I will buy it for you. Those are my parents' names, by the way. I'm very serious. They need this. Your parents might need it too. I need it as well. So let's move on. The number 2 is the Wise Smart Lock. So I thought this was really cool because I live in an apartment building where I don't know many other couples well enough to be able to be like, here's a spare key to my apartment if we're gone on vacation and we forgot to lock something or forgot to unplug something. You can call them and like they go into your apartment. I don't have that luxury. I used to in the small town that I lived in. But now with the Wise Smart Lock, if you forgot to lock your door, you can lock it from your phone. And I'm just, oh man, that is beautiful. That is wonderful. That is great. It's inventive and it's using technology for something that actually helps us in everyday life. I've said this already before, but it's here's a question and a concern that somebody has about the world, and here's a simple answer to fix it. And I love it when we do that with technology because I feel like that should be the point of technology, is fixing humans' problems. Or even on the larger scale, fixing humans like great big problems. Like we've talked about water technology and clean water and stuff like that. So definitely cool and very sleek designs all around. But I like it when they can be simple too, like this one. The Philips Hue light bar. So this was one, I've done a lot of like good lists and bad lists, and this one almost made it onto like a gimmick list because I was like, why does anyone need a light bar? But then I took a look at it and oh my gosh, guys, it is absolutely gorgeous, the light that it illuminates off of it. And it is voice command with Siri, Alexa, and your Google Home. So it doesn't matter which of the home devices you have, it's going to sync up with them. And it's going to be able to be like, Philips Hue light bar, dim the lights. And it's going to dim the lights. It just seemed so, like rich guy in a 90s comedy when the girl goes over to his house and he has like voice command lights. Very, very similar to that style, and just, I love it. We're living in the future when you can voice command your lights on and off. I love it. The Google Smart Home Hub display. So if you have a Google Home, this is a really great way for everything just to be in one central area. I understand the point of the Google Home is that you can be like, Google Home, what's the traffic like today? And it'll tell you. But this is just a way to simplify all that information. It's going to give you the weather, your traffic, the current temperature, what it's going to be later in the day, and just a lot of other information that you can look at a glance and get it all and then be out the door. The Nest Thermostat E. So I've seen these in a lot of buildings. I actually used to work for a real estate company, and they always made sure that these were featured in all of their buildings because it's just a really great way to ensure that you're not wasting energy. It will make your house cool when you're not there. It'll keep it warm when you are there. You can set it using voice command, and it's honestly just a very cool way to save some energy and have an easy-to-use device in your home. This next one is specifically for Taylor Swift. It is a self-cleaning litter box. I don't own any cats, but I saw this and I was like, maybe I'd get a cat, because my biggest issue with cats is I don't want to have to clean out the litter box. This product is convincing me that maybe I'm a cat person if I don't have to clean out their litter box. But do I have to clean out this machine? Yes, I do eventually. So I don't know. Maybe cats aren't for me. But if you're a cat person, maybe check out the self-cleaning litter box. The Amazon Echo Sub. So the reason this made the list is because it is a speaker that gives off the Amazon Echo voice for when you're like, Amazon Echo, turn on my lights. And she says, yes, I'll turn them off right now. That'll come through this speaker and it'll just be a really crisp and clear sound, which is really great. But above that, it is also just a really cool design that fits well into your home. A lot of the times I have problems buying these speakers because they stand out. They're really boxy and really weird looking. This fits in really nice, and it's just a very sleek way to have that speaker without it totally taking over your apartment. The Amazon Echo Flex plug-in smart speaker. So what a lot of people have issues with the Amazon Alexa or Echo or whatever your Google Home device may be, maybe you got the Samsung Bally from CES, but they have the problem with it because they could be in the room and it just can't hear them from the room or in the bathroom. But this basically is, you plug it into your walls, and that way the speakers can pick up no matter where you are. So just a super cool accessory to go with your Amazon Alexa, and I thought it was really, really cool. The last one is the Wyze Cam Pan Smart Home Camera. So I'm sorry, I know I said no more security stuff, but this one was just too cool not to include on the list because it just physically looks really cool. People are going to know it's a security camera, but maybe that's not the point. Again, a lot of people are using these just to visit their dogs. Or you can combine this with the self-cleaning litter box and make sure your cats are actually using the litter box, because you can talk through the camera, which is the best feature about this one, is you can be like, "Oh, Captain, what are you doing?" Captain's my dog name, just to be clear. You can talk to the dog through the phone device. And I don't know, I just thought that was really cool and really, really inventive, which is why it was number 20 on our list of the top 20 coolest home gadgets you can buy right now. Are you going to buy any of these products? Do you already own some of these products? Let me know in the reviews down below, or reach out through social media, because I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining me today on the GSMC Technology Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Mackenzie Jakewish, and I'll see you next time.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Technology Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.